Today, I received some wonderful wisdom from an incredible counsellor, and I learned that in truth, there is nothing wrong with me. I've just not been trying hard enough my entire life, and I've had my eyes open to the fact there's no such thing as ADHD or bipolar or autism. No, all of these are made up labels, and there are only, in fact, 4 types of human being. Yes, I have had my eyes opened. I should stop taking my medication and instead unleash the powers of my chakras, and only then will I be able to find real happiness. NANI? These are the sort of things I would be saying if I was completely insane. Good evening, good morning, and good day, and thank you so much for once again choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me. Today we shall be looking at some of the teachings of one of the most brain-dead moronic cults I have ever come across in my life. This evil woo-woo bullshit pollutes and poisons people's minds and is demonstrably false. And as you shall see, what we're talking about today can have deadly impacts on people's lives. Dear manifesting generators and pure generators, you don't have ADD, you don't have ADHD. If you can't maintain your focus to the point of thinking you have a disorder, you need a redirect. A serious conversation with yourself about what you deem worthy of your attention. You don't need to be medicated to mask the frustration that your sacral is feeling. That lack of attention means you aren't focusing on something that lights you up, so move on. I give you permission. Aww, thank you, Samantha Zagar. Thank you so much for giving me your permission to stop taking medication. Do you know how unbelievably dangerous that is? The most dangerous part about ADHD medication for somebody that is on ADHD medication isn't addiction, isn't ill side effects. The most dangerous part of it is taking yourself off it or accidentally running out of your prescription. It can be debilitating. It can be incredibly dangerous. You are designed to be multi-passionate, multi-dimensional, able to respond and move quickly. That is different from being scattered, bored, stuck and spinning. That's the sign you need to refocus, not that you are mentally unwell. It doesn't mean you're mentally unwell having ADHD, actually. It's technically classed as a disorder or a disability, so it's an invisible disability. You don't go up to somebody who is using a wheelchair and tell them, just stop using your wheelchair, just use your legs. You don't need to use that. It's fine. Just use your legs. Just crawl across the ground. It's fine.
Put those down, goddammit!
But please, without these I can't walk.
No.
I broke my leg.
No. You just need to try harder. You're not trying hard enough.
But...
No. A psychic from Canada who moved to Ibiza and changed his name told me, so I must be right.
Fine, I'll crawl instead.
See? Now isn't that better?
Mental health by auric type is a potentially, clearly, triggering concept all on its own, but I'm going to go there because I think it's important. This is something I hear being expressed by the generator types often, a complaint about their mental capabilities wrapped up in a quick diagnosable question, a little too quick to jump the gun self-diagnosing a real condition which has all the same expressions as being a generator. For most of those with sacral definition, the problem is that you just aren't structuring things well for yourself. Step 1. Eliminate the fluff. You're great at that. Not necessarily true at all whatsoever when you can't focus, when you can see on a CT scan the difference between a healthy person's brain and a ADHD person's brain, and you can see in their prefrontal cortex that the flow of dopamine and the neurons and neuroreceptors aren't firing off and sending the signals that are needed, and that when you medicate them, those signals are then clear as day, flashing up. It's pretty obvious that for a lot of people with ADHD, they cannot just make themselves focus. They cannot just do the things that you wish they could do and that they wish they could do. because their brain chemically prevents them from doing those things. Get rid of the unnecessary steps you don't need, like spending time on those uninteresting things because of some pretend obligation. Free up your schedule by eliminating that which does not inspire you. Eliminate down to 3-ish real interests. Make them a new priority. This is so stupid. So again, a lot of people with ADHD already do this. It's called hyperfocus, and it's not healthy because we often push ourselves to the point of not being able to concentrate on anything else at all. Other issue I have with this is that, quite honestly, you are not understanding the condition in its slightest. The biggest issue with having ADHD, the biggest issue is that you cannot do the things that you so badly enjoy and want to. One of the most common symptoms of ADHD is something called anhedonia, which is the inability to enjoy the things that would normally bring you pleasure. This can be, say you love video gaming, you no longer enjoy video gaming. Say you love cooking, you no longer enjoy cooking. This isn't because you don't have interests in these things, it's because your brain is not sending dopamine rewards to you when you complete and succeed these things. It can come down to the point, anhedonia can be so bad that you stop enjoying sex. This doesn't mean you're asexual, it just means you have sex, you ejaculate, and then afterwards you feel nothing from it. Anhedonia, it sucks. Do not tell somebody going through things like this that they just need to try a bit harder, they just need to concentrate, redirect themselves. It's dangerous, unhealthy advice. Eliminate down to 3-ish real interests. Make them a new priority. Try to focus on them. If you lose your focus, take little breaks to do small things you genuinely enjoy. The problem, as I've just said, is we can't. Anhedonia. The things we genuinely enjoy stop being enjoyable. Work on a reward system. I work hard in order to reward myself with my passions. Go back to joy, the bliss. I can't focus is actually code for this isn't interesting and I know it, but I don't know how to break free yet. Terrible advice. This is why so many people with ADHD end up abusing drugs, or end up relying on 6 cups of coffee a day, or end up having a massive drinking problem. I don't know a single male, or female for that matter, with ADHD that hasn't had one of the above issues during either their teenage or early adult years, or in some people's case, massively combined. It's not because I wasn't trying hard enough. Believe me, my entire goddamn life, I have been trying so hard to do the things that I want to do and achieve the things I want to achieve. And it is really difficult when sometimes your brain just goes on this absolute self-destructive rampage. Bitch. I really hope my channel doesn't get destroyed because my stuff's considered bullying, because I don't think it's considered bullying. I think it should be considered fact-checking. Maybe I just need to tone down my aggression a bit. Oh, we'll see. Please keep in mind that I am discussing this within the context of human design, and specifically the manifesting generators and generators. I believe there is a disproportionate high diagnosis of ADD and ADHD among those types because of the unfortunate pressure they feel being a multi-stimuli person in a binary society. This is not a message stating that these disorders do not exist or that anyone should stop taking their medication, except it is. Except that's literally exactly what it is. It's a message saying you should talk to me instead and stop taking your medication. Also, it's an absolute lie that ADHD is currently being overdiagnosed. The fact of the matter is that the reason why there is such an upswing in current diagnoses is because of the number of people that have slipped through without having been diagnosed, the number of people that are noticing late on in life in adulthood that they have ADHD and that it has been debilitating their lives. So here we need to learn a little bit about human design. Who started this strange, seemingly purposeless cult? The creator, or rather the receiver of the human design system, is Alan Robert Krakauer. He was born in Montreal, Canada, April 9, 1948. He lived in Ibiza under the name Ra Uruhu until his death in 2011. He is a well-educated and successful businessman who worked as a contractor and magazine publisher with his own advertising agency. After this, he gave up his wealth and worked as an artist, poet, musician, and composer. On Ibiza in 1987, he experienced an extrasensory intelligence, which he calls the voice. During 8 days and nights, he was taught about the mechanical and spiritual structure of the universe. Immense knowledge and countless details were channeled to him. The experience was shaking him. Previously, he had been arrogant and strongly self-centered, but after the experience, he became humble, and he created the human design system, which according to him, can replace all the old systems of everything. Medicine, religion, everything. Ra says that human design system is not here because of him, but because of a supernova in 1987. Mankind was influenced by the neutrino stream from this supernova precisely in the 8 days and nights where he received the informations about HDS. So ultimately, the thing that he developed from receiving this knowledge from the voice was the HDS, and the human design system comes down to a thing called the chart, which tells you everything you need to know about the human body and yourself and who you are and what you should be doing in your life and who your friends should be, and all this typical sort of spiritual soothsaying mumbo jumbo bull. I think we should get my chart checked. Why not? My name's G-Dad. What is the time? Oh, the time I was born. I was born at 2 p.m, I think. Okay, let's get my chart. This is exciting. So apparently, I'm a projector. My strategy is to wait for the invitation. That's true, actually, about me. I very rarely invite people around. I normally wait for invitations. My signature is success. That's not true. Not self-themed bitterness. Also not true. I'm an incredibly bitter person. Inner authority, emotional authority. I think people would argue with that and say I'm generally ruled by kind of steely cold logic most of the time, except when I'm manic, and then, well, I've got bipolar. This is bullshit. Incarnation cross, right angle cross of the unexpected. Okay. So I guess I need to take this chart to somebody and they would explain what it all means. Look at all these weird symbols. I've got a lot of high numbers in my brain. Got some pretty high numbers in my brain. Got some pretty high numbers in my balls, I guess. Very interesting. Yes. Okay. So let's see what this tells about me. I'm a 3 out of 6 profile. Your unconscious is searching for a meaningful outlook that allows you to make sense of the human condition. Your unconscious thrives when you are able to refine vivid life experiences into optimism, patience, and acceptance, qualities which allow you to act in harmony with your worldview. If you have ADHD and you're talking to a counsellor and they mention human design or anything like that, run. Just run. Destroy my granddad's lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. As always, if you enjoyed that, please smash the like button. If you are new around here, my subscribers might warn you, but I do this thing where if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm going to break into your room at night and spank you over my knee. Yeah. I think it's working because currently, like 60% of you people viewing are subscribed. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Feels good. Catch you next time, guys. Peace.